Welcome to Cards and Sharps. We have the RUIKE. I know it looks like RUIKE or something like that, like it would maybe a Viking cap name or something, but nope, it's pronounced RUIKE. It is a Chinese made knife. And let's get this thing out of the box and see what it looks like. This is the Fang. Alright, they packaged nicely. Looks like got a little propaganda in there. It's in some plastic with a nice little tag attached. We'll take that off there for now. Alright. I had seen these at some gun and knife shows and have seen them online and thought they were really a nice looking knife, so thought I'd pick one up. I have owned a RUIKE model before. The one I had was the Hussar, and really liked that knife. It just was not a size that really fit what I would carry, and it never got really any use, so I did move that one along. Now the problem with the Hussar was it was really long, and it was kind of a rounder shaped handle, and it just didn't really, didn't fit in the pocket real well for me. But one thing I did remember about it was it has a really sweet action. And first feel here, this one has very similar action. That blade just jumps out. It is not assisted at all. I mean, you don't feel a spring assist to it. It just goes. I don't know if it's the type of washers they're using in there. It almost feels like a ball bearing, but it's is smooth as butter. All right, let's kind of go over some specs on the RUIKE. It is 8¼ inches long, open. The blade length is 3½ inches, so it's a pretty substantial length on it. So it's not going to qualify for you folks in the 3-inch limit areas. The blade material is 14C28N, which is not premium, but it's not a bad steel. And for the price range that this falls in, it's going to be just fine. I have seen that still used in a lot higher end knives than this, and so for the price point this is, this is in the $30 range, so that'll work. It's got a satin finish on the blade. The handle length is 4¾ inches, and the material is G10, and it's a nice filling G10. Has a nice texture to it, and has some little areas where it's been milled down, which gives you some you have the texture in the G10 itself, and then you got those little milled areas where you get that design, and that gives you little areas that your fingers kind of just set into, so it gives you a even more secure feeling in your hand. And that handle is a nice length for me. That feels really good in the hand. No real hot spots. So you can feel that pocket clip, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable or anything. It is right hand only. and it's going to be tip up only, which is fine. Most people are going to carry tip up anyway. And of course, it's a nice flipper. Flipper easy to hit, and out of the box, that action is butter smooth. No play at all in the blade, and as you can see, it is centered. Looks like perfectly, and the lockup is right. Goes up to right about 50% point, maybe just a shade under, but nice, good, firm lockup. All right, what else? Here we go with probably the first, what I'm going to say is going to be a negative on this knife is it's pretty hefty. It is 5.19 ounces, which for a lot of people, and myself included, that's going to get into the little bit of heavy area for me. But compared to the knives that this is going to, size wise, I love that action. Now compared to the Hussar, whatever, this would be one I would more likely carry. It does have just a shape that would fit more. My only drawback would be the weight, but for the price, it looks like you're going to get a very nice knife with a. I tell you, the action just it's a knife you just want to sit and just keep opening. It's got that action just so smooth, and that clank when it locks up just sounds so good, and it feels really good in the hand. Now in your hand, that weight does not feel bad at all. It has a nice balance to it, and this jumping on this ramp here, and it's got it kind of dips in and then ramps up. It's a nice aggressive jumping without being too sharp, so you have a real good feel to it. And I could see this being a good user knife, but in the pocket you're going to feel it. It's going to be all there. The clip has a nice looks nice and has a good tension to it, and it's got this little bud here that I guess that is kind of an extra help it stay in your pocket, but it also looks like it's made to where it's not going to damage your fabric too bad or put a lot of wear on it. But yeah, I could just sit and open and close this knife all day long. It is a pleasure to operate. And I tell you, I've handled a lot of more expensive knives that don't feel as nice opening or feel as good in the hand. So I think if you're looking for a budget knife that big enough to handle some bigger jobs and all that, and looks handsome as well, this would be a good choice for you. If you don't have an issue with getting into the little heavier end on the pocket. Let's just compare it now size wise to some well-known knives. We got the Delica here, which is what we kind of compare most things to, since everybody is pretty familiar with a Delica. It's quite a bit bigger. So for that weight, you're getting a lot more knife than what you have here with a Delica. But so it just comes down to what you think about weight and how it feels in your pocket. Some folks may like that, and you can feel it in there. I tend to, unless if I'm going out and I'm dressed up pretty heavy and I'm going out to the woods or something like that, the weight doesn't really matter as much. Now, if you're toting a lot of equipment or anything like that, now or you're putting that in a backpack, you might notice you might want to trim back a little bit on weight with that. But going out in the jeans and out in the woods or something, going a little hunting, might be a knife you'd want. I love it. I don't know that it would find a place in my rotation other than just sit around and flip on it all day long. But I don't know. It's a really nice knife. I like it. All right. Oh, one thing I noticed here, it does have the closed back, so it's not gonna let as much lint get in there, but when it does, it's gonna be trapped, and you have to get in there and clean it with probably a Q-tip, which it does have a pretty big space there, so you could get in there pretty easy. Oh, and one other thing I noticed is it does have the drill out in there on both sides of the frame to save weight, and I guess this would be heavier still, but it's a robust knife. I mean, I don't think this thing is gonna be afraid of any hard work. All right, that's the RUIKE Fang in blue, and that's all I've got about it. If you guys like this, like and subscribe, and keep watching. We'll have more knives coming up soon. See you next time.